All right, let's dive right into this explainer. Today, we're exploring some absolutely breathtaking sites across India. We're talking about places where fierce, unwavering devotion literally collides head-on with impossible physics-defying anomalies. Seriously, these are spots where science just kind of throws its hands up in the air, and conventional logic? Yeah, it's left completely at the door. So, where exactly does faith end and physics break? Well, we're going to journey from modern biological wonders that'll completely challenge your everyday norms, all the way to ancient, mind-boggling architectural triumphs that totally defy standard logic. Grab a notepad, because the facts we're about to uncover are going to make you question basically everything you thought you knew about the laws of nature and human capability. Part 1, Shrines of the Unusual, where modern devotion takes strange forms. At the Ambana Shrine in Rajasthan, you actually won't find a traditional deity. Instead, devotees fiercely worship a Royal Enfield bullet motorcycle. Its license plate ends in the number 73. And the backstory here? It's wild. It completely defies explanation. After a fatal crash, local police impounded the bike. I mean, imagine being the cop handling this. You empty the fuel tank, you roll it into the station, and you chain it up with a heavy lock, right? Yet the very next morning, the bike was just gone. Miraculously returned to the exact site of the crash out on the highway. And this didn't just happen once, it happened night after night. Today, an eternal flame burns beside this machine, and travelers stop daily to seek its blessing for a safe journey. Just think about that for a second, a mechanical object seemingly possessing its own will and totally defying physical containment. Moving from mechanical mysteries to biological ones, let's head over to Bikaner, Rajasthan. Here, the Karni Mata Temple swarms with an astonishing 25,000 revered rats. They are absolutely everywhere, roaming freely across every single square inch of the pristine marble floors. But here's where modern science and germ theory completely struggle to keep up. Despite tens of thousands of rodents living densely packed in an enclosed public space, there was absolutely zero spread of disease. None. On top of that, visitors consistently report that there's no foul smell whatsoever inside the temple. It defies everything we know about hygiene, sanitation, and biological contagion. Now, according to local legend, these aren't just your ordinary rats. They're known as kubbas, and people deeply believed they are the reincarnated children of Karni Mata herself. Because of this divine status, the normal rules of human behavior simply don't apply. If a rat nibbles on a piece of food, sharing that half-eaten offering isn't seen as a health hazard. It's actually considered a profound, highly sought-after blessing. It's a perfect, real-world example of intense faith completely overriding deep-seated human instinct and modern medical anxiety. Part 2. Defying the elements. Gravity and spontaneous fire. Let's look at the mysterious Lepakshi Temple in Andhra Pradesh. Think about the sheer weight of a stone roof in an ancient temple. It is crushing. The entire fundamental purpose of a conventional pillar is to rest firmly on the ground, to distribute that massive load, right? But the Lepakshi Akasha Stamb does the exact opposite. Out of the temple's 70 intricately carved pillars, this one specific pillar completely defies gravity. It literally hangs suspended about half an inch in the air. Devotees and skeptical tourists alike routinely pass long pieces of cloth completely underneath its base just to prove to themselves that there are no hidden supports. So how is this heavily carved, load-bearing structure just floating? The engineering behind it remains a total mystery. Meanwhile, deep in the Aravalli Hills, another element behaves in ways we simply cannot explain. The Jagannath Matha Temple spontaneously erupts into flames. Out of nowhere, without any matches, sparks, or human ignition whatsoever, the temple undergoes what locals respectfully call an Agni Snan, or fire bath. This spontaneous fire blazes intensely, burning all the heavy offerings and brightly colored cloths to absolute smoldering ashes. Yet miraculously, right in the middle of this intense inferno, it leaves the central idol completely and entirely unharmed. And then, just as suddenly as it began, the fire simply extinguishes itself. It's fire acting with a selective, almost conscious precision. Part 3. Mysteries of Jagannath Puri, Defying the Laws of Physics. This is a highly revered site holding the mysterious Brahma Tattva, and it's a place where standard physics simply breaks down on multiple fronts. Observers, meteorologists, and scientific minds alike consistently note three absolutely impossible things happening here every single day. First, the temple's massive flags always, without fail, wave in the exact opposite direction of the prevailing wind. Second, despite the blazing sun beating down on it all day, its grand peak never casts a shadow on the ground, ever. And third, almost as if it's protected by a massive invisible dome. Not a single bird flies over it, and no airplanes pass directly over the structure. It exists in its own isolated pocket of physical laws. And if that wasn't enough to make you question reality, let's head into their massive kitchen. When 7 earthen pots filled with prasad are stacked vertically over a single wood fire, thermodynamics goes right out the window. Think about it. Heat rises, right? So logically, the bottom pot gets the most intense heat and should finish first. But here, the top pot, the one furthest from the flame, miraculously cooks first. The process continues downwards, and the pot closest to the direct, blazing fire at the very bottom cooks last. It's a complete, unexplainable inversion of how heat transfer and conduction are supposed to work. Part 4. The ultimate miracle, the impossible Kailasa monolith. We finally climax our journey at cave number 16 in Ellora. Now this number, 200,000, represents pure, unfathomable scale. The Kailasa Temple is the world's largest monolithic structure, commissioned by the ancient Rashtrakuta dynasty. To build it, artisans required the excavation of up to 200,000 tons of solid basalt rock from a single continuous hill. To put that monumental effort into perspective, 200,000 tons is heavier than the Empire State Building. And they didn't just move it, they carved it entirely by hand out of a solid mountainside with absolute breathtaking precision. Unlike literally any standard building throughout history that is built from the bottom up, assembling stones piece by piece, where you can easily replace a brick if you make a mistake, Kailasa's creators did the unthinkable. They used staggering, incomprehensible 3D visualization to carve an entire mountain from the top down. Not a single stone was brought in from the outside, and no structural blueprint has ever been found. They simply removed the mountain layer by careful layer to reveal the magnificent, towering temple already hiding inside the bedrock. One wrong strike of the chisel, and the entire structure would have been permanently ruined. Yet, they executed it flawlessly. The timeline clash here is what leaves modern structural engineers and architects completely speechless. Modern estimates suggest that excavating 200,000 tons of solid basalt rock with ancient hand tools would take an army of 70,000 workers, roughly 150 years of continuous labor to complete. Yet, the historical record plainly states it was carved in an astonishing 17 years. And adding a massive layer to this mystery, to this day, no trace of those 200,000 tons of excavated rock debris has ever been found anywhere in the surrounding area. It's almost as if the mountain was simply vaporized. This monolithic marvel features elaborately ornate interiors that would be incredibly hard to build today with heavy machinery, let alone centuries ago with chisels. It boasts a soaring 96-foot-high shikara tower, massive 70-foot stone pillars that hold immense weight, and highly intricate 3D stone elephants that symbolically and literally support the entire base of the structure. All of this was carved out of the living rock with such absolute geometric precision, creating a structure so perfectly balanced and stable that it has been completely immune to centuries of heavy earthquakes that leveled other nearby buildings. Part 5. The Genius of Antiquity. Human brilliance, not alien intervention. Naturally, the sheer mathematical perfection, the mysterious lack of debris, and the impossible speed of Kailasa's construction spark some pretty wild internet theories. You'll hear endless speculation about extraterrestrial involvement, secret ancient laser tools, or lost supernatural technologies. But as historians impartially and firmly note, to credit aliens for this work is to be incredibly unfair to the genius of ancient Indians. Attributing this marvel to extraterrestrials drastically undervalues the profound knowledge, the immense creativity, and the highly advanced, now lost, structural techniques of human artisans. It wasn't magic, and it wasn't science fiction. It was simply the absolute pinnacle of human craftsmanship, a level of skill that has sadly been lost to the relentless march of time. From defying gravity and reversing thermodynamics, to carving out an entire mountain in mere years without leaving a single trace of rubble, these mysteries prove that fierce human devotion and ancient ingenuity accomplished the seemingly impossible. They actively challenge our modern arrogance and leave us with a massive, lingering question. If our ancestors could achieve all this centuries ago with a fraction of our technology, what other incredible lost secrets, techniques, and truths are waiting to be uncovered in our history? Keep exploring, keep questioning everything you see, and I'll see you